All right, everyone, we are live in a hotel. I'm gonna move over here. Hope you're doing well. We are here to do Etsy Q&A. Oh gosh, Etsy Q&A today. Let me pull my chair up. All right. Perfect. All right. Coming to you live from Newport Beach. I flew in here last night for the Jasmine Star podcast this morning. She's a newer friend I connected with earlier in the year, and we got to talk about all things building a business, building a team, really, and the lessons learned along the way to hopefully inspire other people who are on the same journey. So this is really for any Etsy questions. We are going to be jumping into your questions. I also attended a little tax webinar today, which was really fun. Talked about ways to save on taxes, talked about paying your kids. You can actually pay them $15,750 each tax-free, and then $7,000 for a Roth for each child. So anyways, did a little bit of tax strategy learning this morning. But let's jump into some of your Etsy questions. Go ahead and put your shop in the chat if you would like. We also have a really exciting training coming up, actually this coming Sunday. So this Sunday, we have a really great training that we're doing. It's going to be talking all about really how to get a product into your shop that has a high earning potential. So I'm going to share my screen. If you are not registered for my free class on Sunday, make sure you come. Here it is. Okay. Awesome. Make sure you come to the class. It's Sunday. You can click Save My Spot. And then it's also on Monday if Monday works better for you. But we are testing out a Sunday. We had requests for a weekend. So we're doing Sunday at 1 Pacific or 4 Eastern, and then Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll put the link in the chat for that. Who's coming to that, by the way? Some of you have been wondering, how did you do that, where you've seen me making those sweatshirts and selling those sweatshirts on Etsy. We did well over a couple 100,000 just on that one product. And you want to learn how to build a strong revenue-driving, profitable product into your current mix. And you feel like maybe nothing in your current product mix has the potential to do $200,000. Like if you're looking at your product mix and thinking, I don't think anything in my shop right now would do $200,000, or I don't think any of my products have that potential, or what products should I add in that would kind of create that potential? If you are a little lost, will there be coffee, right? Yeah, bring your coffee. Yeah, bring your own drink on that. Okay, let's take a look at some of the questions. Someone said, my shop was closed down. I appealed 3 weeks ago and haven't heard. What should I do? So we actually have a relationship with Etsy. It's interesting, where we can send a direct email to the CEO. And we do that for our clients. If anything ever happened or there was like a mistake, the mistake closures aren't really happening anymore. That was something that happened, like a year ago. There was a lot of erroneous shop closures. That's not really happening anymore. But when that was happening, we would just send an email to Etsy's CEO, Josh Silverman, and magically the shop would open up again. But the closures that are accidental are not really happening anymore. Okay, let's take a look at the shop in the chat there. Go ahead and if you have any questions about Etsy, let me know. Actually, you did submit questions over on Instagram. Unfiltered supply. So we'll look at this shop, and we will also pull open your other questions. Okay, got this. Okay, have you guys seen this? I just started using it today. I've had it. I forgot I had it. But Jenna Kutcher showed me this, and it's basically where you can stick your phone to any glass surface, so a mirror, a window, the car glass, and I haven't tried it on plastic, but it's really cool because then if you're, instead of buying one of those like braces, like holders, tripod kind of holders, where you're adhering it to like your car dash or something. This is really cool. So if you're like in a hands-free type of state, this is a good one. Okay. Let's pull open your questions you submitted over on Instagram. Let's see, here we go. Where did it go? Here we go. Okay, rapid fire Etsy questions. You sent them over on Instagram. Are ebooks still a good product to launch on Etsy? Okay, if you're selling ebooks, you better have written it, first of all. And second of all, with the rise of AI and ChatGPT and Claude and all these different AI tools and LLMs, I would say I would not recommend doing ebooks. Personally, I think ebooks are really going to have an uphill battle. I would not recommend ebooks. If you're wanting to do education, if you're wanting to sell education in 2025, 2026, I mean, there's even a huge shift happening in the course space. And if you're wanting to sell education, you have to really think about, why is it that someone looking up a question and getting the steps or getting the answer in ChatGPT or Google, why is that not sufficient? Or how could you compete with that? And I really see two ways to compete with that. One way to compete with that would be through visual learning, which is showing visual examples, visual steps, video format. That's one great way to be teaching something. So instead of like just a text ebook, if you're wanting to teach something, visual format, right? That's one way to compete. But another way to compete, if you're wanting to teach something, instead of writing a book on it, I would say providing personalized guidance on it. So let's say you're writing an ebook on gardening. Have you guys, let me show you something. Let me show you someone. Do you guys know of this person, Nicole Burke? Okay, she is someone who 1.5 million followers. You might think, oh, I'm going to write an ebook on gardening. Okay, best of luck. First of all, but you can see she has really shown, I would say, the epitome of what I'm talking about here. It's having visual learning, offering a visual learning format, and personalized feedback, personalized guidance. So you can check her out, but I wouldn't say ebooks. I would not do ebooks. Okay. Another person asked, why am I stuck on 5K revenue per month? Okay. If you're stuck at 5K revenue per month, I would say you're probably missing the concept of more, better, new. And more, better, new is a framework that the Hormozi team, Alex and Layla Hormozi, here, I'm going to put some resources in the chat for you guys. Put this in there. If you guys don't know Alex Hormozi, put him in there. Okay, but More, Better, New is a framework that their team at acquisition.com has. And this is really a framework in building. And a lot of people will be pulled into new. They get sometimes you could call it shiny object syndrome, but a lot of entrepreneurs and visionaries, they will get pulled into new instead of exhausting more and better, because more and better is doing the boring work. More and better is optimizing what is working. It is doubling down on what is working. It is iterating on what is working. So it doesn't feel new and exciting. It's about perfecting and refining and getting 1% better in multiple areas of the same thing that is already working. And so if you're stuck at 5,000 a month, I would say we need to double down and exhaust more better. And depending on how many products you have in the shop, maybe you have 2 products and you've exhausted more better with those, and that got you to 5,000 a month. Great. Then we move into new. And new might be serving new customers in the same shop, maybe serving them in new ways, new areas of their life. But we want to focus on serving a customer for 4 to 7 years. To acquire a customer, it takes a lot of effort, right? Whether you're doing a course and coaching business or whether you are doing an Etsy shop, acquiring a customer takes a lot of effort. It's a lot easier to sell something extra to a current customer. It's so much easier to have them, if they've already spent $10 with you or committed to spending $10 with you, to upsell them or to add on something of value, like exponential value at a no-brainer price. So let's say we increase the average order value from 10 to 15, or let's say your AOV is $20, we could increase it to 25 or 30. That's a much easier way to get past 5K a month versus just launching new things and hoping that something new will take off. We have to be very intentional about serving one customer in many areas of their life for 4 to 7 years. Okay, and if you're stuck at 5K a month, those are things that we've probably missed. And then someone asked, "What in the world are you up to with that spray tan thing? LOL, bodybuilders." I joked. I didn't actually joke. This is legitimate. But my husband and I, we bought a mobile spray tanning business kit because I was going to this podcast in Newport. I was like, I want to, I don't look that tan, but this is a spray tan. And he's like, let's just try it ourselves. So we bought one and we set it up in the Airbnb that we're in right now. And it was hilarious. We'll just say it was hilarious. I did one on him first, but someone followed our Instagram stories and asked about that. All right, Kadri, my shop is 1 month old, but I've been on Etsy for 15 years. So it seems like you've been on Etsy for 15 years with no sales. Yeah, so it looks like that to your shop because you've had the account for that long. I would consider opening a new account at that point. They also ask, do I have to add 1 item per day as a new shop or more at once? No, absolutely not. This whole concept of you have to be active in the shop once a day is totally a myth. You don't have to add 1 item per day. Add the listings as they're ready and optimized. Okay, let me go back to the shop that we were going to pull open. I think it was the first comment in this video. And let's take a look. Okay. Unfiltered supply, no banner, no idea what you want to be known for. We have mugs. So this is a 1 product shop, which is the biggest mistake you could make right now. We don't want to have a 1 product shop. 1 product shops are, how many mugs are people going to buy? This is a perfect illustration of how we are not serving someone in many areas of their life for 4 to 7 years. We are serving them in 1 area of their life, drinkware. For how long? What do we have here? We have mom life, it looks like. Kind of like, here's like a bride one. I'm concerned about color. I'm concerned about design. I'm concerned about the mock-ups. We cannot use AI mock-ups as the main thumbnail. Just a reminder on that. Yeah. What is the value proposition here? Why would someone spend $22 on a mug that they could get from, let's say, Walmart for $7? We want to make sure we are offering a strong value proposition. I would say mugs are a good loss leader, really. So who is the customer for this? Are we targeting a profitable customer? can't, won't, don't, mama bear, don't care. It's kind of like the live, laugh, love vibe, a little bit vanilla. So with design and with the text. So remember, when you're selling the mug, you're not selling the mug itself. The mug, it's just the vessel or the vehicle for the design. You're selling the design. So when you're selling a design and you want to charge, it looks like okay. And you want to sell a design for that price when they could find that type of design somewhere else for a third of the cost. How do we win? So we want to work with you on design, your product mix, and primarily, who is the customer we're selling to here? Who are we targeting? Another question, would you recommend the new AI function changing the titles of all the listings? Absolutely not. Only do that if you want to crash your shop into the ground. Do not do that. We unfortunately, once you do it, you cannot undo it, which is it was very actually sad for some people who accidentally used Etsy's new AI function to mass update their listings. Yeah, so I would recommend not doing that. Okay, it looks like we have about 50 new people on here. So I will remind you, if you haven't signed up for my class Sunday and Monday, totally come. This is going to be great. It's linked in the chat, but we're going over really my blueprint for how I've did 200K in this one sweatshirt. I've done the same strategy on repeat with several other products where it's one product that ended up doing super high volume because of how we structured it, the product it was, and who it was selling to. And I'm going to be giving you my full blueprint for this. We'll also be talking about not just the formula for this, but 3 places to find these high revenue product ideas and 2 types of big spending customers who will fuel this type of growth. So make sure to attend if you did not save your spot. It's a free class. Okay. Let's take a look. What other questions do we have here? Minimalist. Hang on, let me see. I gotta see if I have a. Okay, cool. I do have a meeting in a minute. We'll do one more question. Minimalist. Okay. So I would be guessing, Kelly, I'm curious, are you seeing a decrease in sales over the last year or 2? Since you started, are you seeing an increase, a decrease, or a plateau? If you are still here, let me know. So these are like car coaster designs. Okay. So what I would say is I don't necessarily know based on this what you want to be known for. So there's a lot of work to do on the branding, a lot of work to do on A/B testing. There's a lot we could help you with as far as design. And then ultimately, one of the biggest things that we need to do with a shop like this is focus on average order value, because selling $3 products, it's really hard to get to $40,000 months when you're doing that, right? It's hard to get to $40,000 or $50,000, $60,000 months when you have $3 items. Now, I don't know what your goal is for Etsy, but we have strategies specifically for digital. Okay, somewhat of a plateau and occasional increase. What type of revenue are you at per month, Kelly? Let me know. And what are you at? What is the goal? Okay, so we have a lesson all about driving up average order value for digital products, and that is really one of the main areas of focus for a shop like this, right? 8,900 sales, but what is the revenue? What is the take home profit every month on this? And with this number, it's kind of like a um, what would we call it? It's not it's not that number is not really what we want to focus on increasing. What we want to focus on increasing is your revenue, is your take home. And so the strategies that we'd want to be putting in, 706 listings, that's a ton of listings too. So what we would do to drive up AOV are strategies within the product mix, possibly removing some things as well. If you'd be open to it, maybe removing 50 to 150 listings, and we'd kind of go with you on your stats for that. But there's a lot you could do to increase AOV in this type of a shop. And if you do want any guidance on that, we cover that in the course. For people who are here, they're not in the program, or you want to learn about the program, totally free to book a call and learn about that here. I'll just put it up. You just basically pick a time, and then we chat with you about your shop. And you just say if you want, like, what are you trying to do with Etsy? Are you wanting to replace income, just make a little extra? What's your situation? No shop, all the way up to over 10K a month. So that's what I would recommend if you are, see, $800 to $1,500 in profit per month. That is extremely low for digital. One of our digital sellers, she's actually done upwards of $117,000 in a month with products that are only about $1 more. So, and that's all digital products. So, I mean, 800 to 1,500, you could do so much more, Kelly, so much more. Okay, guys, I'm a little late for a meeting here with a newer team member, but if you have any questions, definitely reach out to us, and feel free to, as always, book a call and we can chat with you about your shop and show you what our coaching program looks like.